What's good, YouTube? It's VexReacts, and today we taking a deep dive into the storyline of IU Love Wins All. Bro, this music video was groundbreaking. This is something that I never seen since I've become a K-pop stan a year ago, and I definitely got to check out some of this juicy content, bro. Let's see what this story was about. I have heard some theories online on TikTok here and there, but I want to see what Bookish Theories has to offer us.
Hello and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video, we'd like to talk about IU's Love Wins All, focusing on a little breakdown of what we know about the song and the video to see what they can tell us about the concept and story of this pre-release.
Okay.
Written and produced by IU herself, Love Wins All is a song that in many respects is meant to contrast the hopelessness and grayness of our generation.
Bro, I didn't even know that she wrote and produced this. This is actually fire, bro, because this added testament to not only how great the video and music was, but also gives us background on how great IU is as a
song that in many respects is meant to contrast the hopelessness and grayness of our generation. As IU herself has explained, in fact, the track tells the story of people that try to love until the very end in a world that prevents them from loving. In this day and age, many people see reality as being driven by ever-growing hatred, indifference and hostility, but IU rejects this pessimistic view of the world and chooses to focus on love instead. Reflecting on her personal experience as an idol and a public figure, she realized that even if hatred can be overwhelming in the moment, it is never as long-lasting as love is, and it is always ultimately alone. Love, on the other hand, is an invisible weapon that always brings us together, so knowing this, it's love the only feeling that can win at the end.
Bro, this is an interesting topic, I'm not gonna lie, and I love that she's talking about a relevant topic in today's time. How do y'all, I want y'all to go down to the comment section and let me know, how do y'all feel about love in today's time? Do you feel like we're under so much pressure in terms of economy and all of these outside factors that it's tough to love? Or do you feel like no matter how tough life is, it's always gonna be love? Now, I know that it's gonna be love no matter what, but I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on it because I feel like because the economy is so tough and because, you know, we're bombarded with so much chaos in the world that sometimes it do be hard to love because pressure, you know, makes things explode. That's just the honest to God truth. And sometimes we be so frustrated with our life that we project that on the other people. And maybe I'm speaking from personal experience, but I see when I used to work at Lowe's and I used to look at people, I could see the struggle in people's eyes. And it's tough to live in a world like that. And it's just cool to have, you know, music that could allow you to feel seen and understood and also motivate you to understand that love wins, you know? Love wins all. Hold up, hold up.
The lesson that she learned from her fans in the past 10 years of her career. And because of that, this song and everything it represents is very much dedicated to them as an endless source of love, comfort, and reassurance.
As a side note, this album, which contains 5 songs, has 2 songs dedicated to people I love, especially my fans. And one of them is the song Love Wins All. I'm interested. I want to hear that second song.
Love wins all because it cannot be any other way. So in the song, IU invites us to run away together, to love bravely in a world that is always trying to keep us apart and divide us with hatred. Now in the video, this concept is portrayed with a tragic story that I seem unable to watch without crying my eyes out every time.
Bro, you and everybody else. I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
The video stars IU herself and V, which in turn plays the role of her lover, as well as a character that symbolically represents IU's fandom, Yuna. In the story, she and Taeyong are two lovers trying to survive in a dystopian reality where the world has been destroyed by mysterious flying cubes. The two of them can only rely on each other to survive, and as they run away together, we also notice that both characters have a disability. While this character is blind in one eye, in fact, IU's character is using sign language to communicate, thus suggesting that she might be deaf, mute, or both. In an interview with the director, he pointed out that IU's lip ring is an intentional stylistic choice here. The piercing is meant to symbolize her character's difficulty in communicating with the world, but
Dang, the attention to detail is actually immaculate.
In the story, we see that the two lovers understand each other perfectly. Their respective disabilities don't stop them from loving and understanding each other.
Facts.
What is really trying to stop them is the cube, which is an entity that wants to destroy them no matter what. Now in the video, the origin of these cubes is never revealed, but when I first saw it, the way these entities operate immediately reminded me of War of the Worlds. In Love Wins All, the cubes are taking over the world and disposing of humans by turning them into dust to the point that only their clothes are left. In War of the Worlds, the alien tripods do the same thing, not to mention that the first moment of the attack is also seen through the camcorder of one of the victims.
Nice reference.
That also happens in DMV. Because of that, my personal take is that the cubes are alien devices that, like the tripods, are meant to eliminate humans for the aliens to take over the world. On social media there are many other theories about what these objects might be, but whether it's an alien invasion, a zombie apocalypse, or a robot uprising, the director straight up said that an interpretation is acceptable. One thing that he wanted...
This is fire. I love these types of videos that give you more context because I didn't even know about that movie, but that movie sounded real interesting, and I love how they could draw, inspiration from other sources of media and use that in their stuff, bro.
To make clear, however, is the symbolic meaning of these entities. You see, in his interview, the director identifies the cube that is going after them as Nemo, square, which is a shape that, according to his vision, represents discrimination against the characters. Bear in mind, in the story, UNV are disabled, so the square symbolizes any type of discrimination and oppression that haunts many people in their everyday life. The fact that this force is abstract and faceless can also be interpreted as it being a systemic problem. The square doesn't represent a specific person or institution.
Bro, and this is crazy because there was a controversy. They said that IU was basically, attacking people with disabilities when the entire time she was low-key giving them a platform. The entire time she was low-key shining light on them and shining light on the fact that the world try to discriminate against people, but that don't mean you should hang your head. That don't mean you can't find love. That don't mean that you can't have a great life. Bro, I love this, man. I love this, man. And all of you people who was acting like she was hating,
embodies the abstract concept of discrimination whose origin is unknown, whose identity is unknown, but is still deadly to the helpless people that it targets. As the two lovers find themselves in this unforgiving world, they eventually find refuge in an abandoned mall where they find a pile of clothes. These belong to the faceless victims of this faceless threat, and the only weapon the two characters have not to succumb to this fate is none other than their love. In the mall, UNV approach a store called Horizon Portal. There V finds a camcorder, and when he uses it, he realizes that it doesn't show the apocalyptic reality they live in, but rather an alternative reality where everything is better. The director explained that the camcorder literally shows the world through the filter of love. In reality, the world has ended. The two of them are hurt, tired, scared, but through the camcorder, they're back to a world full of beauty. There they can taste delicious foods, spend with many friends, and celebrate their love like it deserves. The camera shows us their nostalgia for a better past that is now gone, but it also materializes an ideal reality that the characters create by loving each other. In the video, we also see that through the camera their disabilities are no longer visible. V's eye is no longer white, Ayu's piercing has disappeared, but this doesn't mean that now we can see and Ayu can speak. Many people kind of interpreted this ideal reality as a reality where they're fully able-bodied, but to be honest, I completely disagree with this take.
Exactly.
Because I don't like the implication that having a disability makes you inherently imperfect. Rather, I think that
But I also want to say that I think people with disabilities also think about that. You don't think that if you didn't have legs, you wouldn't think about how your life would be with legs, bro? And that's what I felt like they was trying to shine light on. That even though that you're not perfect, and that might not be the reality, it doesn't mean that you can't have love. It doesn't mean that you can't experience a great life. That's what I got from it. If you got anything other than that, I don't know if we could be friends. I'm sorry.
Another explanation would be that through the filter of love, these disabilities are no longer visible because they no longer define them.
Facts.
Because they are gone. A discriminating society notices the disability before the person that has it, but love can become a filter that makes you see past that and truly know a person's beauty inside and out.
Amen.
This is also supported by what the director said, because according to him, the camcorder also shows the inner world beyond the outer appearance of the characters. This is why, despite what we see in the camcorder, Ayu still communicates with sign language and V still looks at the recording with his left eye. After celebrating with hooded figures that might symbolize the faceless victims that have already fallen, the two lovers break into a bridal shop and dress up as bride and groom. They act like newlyweds while taking pictures in the booth, and the director described this scene as portraying the fruit of their love. Based on admission, this is a very traditional perspective on love, cliché almost, but it also plays on the contrast between their dream of normalcy versus the apocalyptic reality. As they get lost in an illusion where they're free to celebrate their love, the square brings them back to...
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, you know something that I just noticed watching this video? Whenever they have weddings, I'm talking about a traditional wedding. You see this man in a black suit, you see this woman in a white dress. It low-key is like a yin and yang, bro. That's crazy.
The harsh reality they're trying to escape. The two lovers try to run away, they try to fight it, they defend each other, but to no avail. The square remains intact, and as it comes forward, Ayu and V understand that this is the end. As the square turns red and prepares to attack, the two lovers embrace, and in one last act of love, Ayu covers V's eyes so that he doesn't see what is about to happen. By the end, the two lovers stay together and turn
That's
to
beautiful,
dust,
bro.
but in the recording, the two of them start floating. This is a scene that, according to the director himself, symbolizes them finally flying free from all types of oppression and discrimination. In reality, the two lovers...
Dang, I thought they went to heaven. Dang, bro. They didn't go to heaven?
As it stands, finally flying free from all types of oppression and discrimination. In reality, the two lovers disappear. They are gone, but the camcorder offers a silver lining by showing us their flight for freedom. The last thing that we see is the dress and the tuxedo falling from the roof and joining the pile of forgotten clothes. With this final shot, the director wanted to question whether the forms that are considered meaningful or important truly show the true essence of what they represent. What it means is, are the wedding dress and the tuxedo truly a symbol of their love? Do they really represent the essence of their bond, or would their love be just as strong without it? As we saw in the camcorder, in a happier and more normal life, Ayu and V's characters would have gotten married and lived happily ever after, but is their love any less powerful without their wedding? Do they love each other any less without a dress, a veil, and a ring there to prove it? This time I leave you to answer these questions in the comments down below, but in my opinion, the point of love wins all is that love is a feeling that triumphs over anything else.
Facts.
It transcends the physical symbols that traditionally represented, and it wins over hatred even if that hatred physically kills them. Despite the tragic ending, the square hated alone, but the two characters loved together until the last second of their life, so in a way love did win, even if in a very bittersweet way. This time I'm actually really curious to know your take on this one.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this week.
No, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all gotta go subscribe to Bookish Theories. I really did enjoy not only the message of the video, but the visuals and the beautiful vocals. In my opinion, I feel like this was basically shining light and showing people that love is the strongest form of life within the universe, bro. Because no matter what happened, that bond that you share with somebody else, can't nobody take that up out of you because it's in you. You know what I'm saying? You could be going through hell and back. Think about all of the times throughout history where life was terrible. Love is the reason that we all got here. Love is the reason that we made it here. And I think that's the beautiful message of this, you know? Regardless of if you got disabilities, regardless of what you're going through in life, regardless of all of that, we need to remember that love wins all.